Oh,
We have to know for me in the chat.
President folder.
Okay, we should be live.
Okay, ready?
Hold on just a second.
Nope.
I'm waiting for
gotta
it to show up.
Okay.
Okay, we're live. Go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to bring the meeting of June 30th, 2021 to order at 7:05 p.m. Or no, excuse me, I'm in Texas, 5:05 p.m. And I'll read this virtual public disclosure. As authorized by the Governor's Emergency Executive Order issued on March 12, 2020, the Fort Bragg Unified School District Board of Trustees will conduct Board of Education meetings via video conference, telecommute until further notice. The meetings will be streamed via FBUSD Live YouTube channel. Members of the public who wish to address the board during the board meeting are asked to please submit prior to the start of the meeting by emailing boardmeeting@fbusd.us. Staff will make all attempts to share and record any submissions received prior to or during the board meeting. However, depending on timing, late submissions may be provided to the board after the conclusion of the meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes each, approximately 390 words. If you require translation service, please contact Renee Holes at the district office 72 hours in advance by phone 961-3504 or by email. Do I read this next part? No, public comment. Okay. Sorry. Now I got to switch gears here real quick. Stick with me while I open the agenda because I don't have it open. Sorry. Okay, now I can't get to the agenda. I'm sorry. Can you tell me? This is
So
awesome.
you're going to call the meeting to order, please.
Oh, I did call the meeting.
Okay,
to order.
approval of the agenda.
So what item the number is that, Becky?
1.2.
Okay, item 1.2. Could I have an approval motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motions are now, I've forgotten how we do that. Oh, and
All in favor?
all in favor. Thank you. Yes. God, this is terrible. I have jet lag. Okay, moving on. And item 1.3, do we have any public comment?
We have no public comment at this time.
Okay, moving on to the action items. Item 2.1, letter of intent to California Department of Parks and Rec regarding the grant application XS 23-023 Timberwolf Stadium. Superintendent Walker.
So this is the letter that the Stadium Committee has asked us to approve to provide support for the grant that they applied for back in, would they apply back in December, I think? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so Barry Silva is with us. Barry, is there anything you'd like to add?
Only that this is the second time that they've that the Stadium Foundation has applied for the grant. The first one was denied. This one's moving in the right direction. There's a representative from California Department of Parks and Rec that is going to come do a site visit to Timberwolf Stadium. And that's kind of a big deal. If they want to come see, what the foundation has in mind as far as the project, having a representative come from the state is a big deal. So really this letter of intent is just to keep the ball rolling more than anything. It's not saying that we're going to enter into an agreement. It's just saying that, we're going to consider it. However, they need this letter by the 2nd of July in order to keep the grant alive.
Okay, thank you. And Becky, you're muted, but is Diana with us?
Yes,
She
Diana
is.
is here.
President Paoli, turning the reins over to you.
Thank you so much. My apologies. So I believe we are at 2.1.
Yes.
And it's a letter of intent to California Department of Park and Rec regarding grant application XS 23023, which is the Timberwolf Stadium. Consider and possible action on letter of intent to the California Department of Parks and Rec regarding grant application XS 23023 Timberwolf Stadium for lease agreement and MOU with Mendocino Coast Sports Foundation.
And so we had a brief discussion. Barry shared a few items, and the letter is in your packet for review. And we're excited that the Stadium Committee is to this place where they are getting in the final stages. So in order to move their application forward, they need a letter from us. So the question becomes, do you support, do you not support? Do we send the letter? Do we not send the letter? So the letter is in your packet. Questions about this?
Mary?
I have a question, but it's not a question about the grant, which I think is great, but I'm just looking on the letter that we're sending out. And this is the first time I've seen it, and I do apologize because I was traveling all day, so I just opened this. But the address for California Department of Parks and Rec says 1416 9th Street. I'm thinking that's supposed to not have an E, so 9th Street. Is that right?
I copied the letter exactly how it was given to me. So,
so they made a mistake.
I will check on the address at the close of the meeting.
Okay, and that's all I had. Thank you.
Other trustees, any questions? The only question I have is the MOU, once we get that rolling, it'll be approved by legal, and that's in the letter as well.
Yes.
Very good. If there are no further questions, may we have roll call?
You need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
I'll move to approve item 2.1, letter of intent to the California Department of Parks and Recs regarding grant application XS 23023 Timberwolf Stadium.
And I will second that.
Thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Trustee Paley,
Yes.
Trustee Matson,
Yes.
Trustee Makala,
Yes.
Trustee Babcock,
Yes.
and Trustee Schneider is absent. So motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, everybody. This is really exciting. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
So personal action.
2.2 is the next action item on the agenda, personnel action report.
So this really is something that we needed at the last minute because we hired some people, and we need the board to approve that for their pre-intern permit. So we do this every year with anybody we hire who requires a pre-intern permit or a short-term staff permit. So you have before you the list of people. The only change is under Cassandra Robbers. She's actually going to be a teacher at the middle school for the reading intervention. So that's the correction. So I would like you to do, please, if you could approve the personal action report with that change.
Any other questions or a motion, please?
Make a motion we approve the personnel action report amending to say that Cassandra Robbers will be a reading intervention teacher at the Fort Bragg Middle School.
In a second, Mary?
Oh, I'll second. Yes.
Very good. Roll call, please.
Trustee Matson,
Yes.
Trustee Babcock,
Yes.
Trustee Makala,
Yes.
and Trustee Paley.
Yes.
Motion carries. Trustee Schneider is absent. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. So we do have information and discussion on the agenda, which I believe will be an update from Wendy Boyce, our CBO, regarding the recent approval of the state budget.
Okay. As anticipated, there weren't a lot of surprises once the legislature developed their version and submitted it to the governor. It looks like that particular version is what was passed. So there are some good things for us. They are paying down some of that unemployment compensation cost, so that will save us about $100,000. The deferrals are gone, so we aren't going to have the cash crunch that we were originally looking at. And it appears that there's going to be some kind of an increase in the concentration portion of the LCFF funding. So that may mean some extra money from the LCFF funding portion, the supplemental concentration portion for us. I don't know exactly what that means. It might be actually a couple $100,000, but I don't know exactly yet because we haven't had time to run it through the whole calculator and to get a new calculator from the state for that. And then there are other things that are going to happen again, like I said last week, that we don't know the actual impact to us yet because we only have the larger dollars. And those include the universal TK and certain other funding for one of them was a educator effectiveness block grant, another one of those, a round of those that's going to be coming. So in the big picture is it looks pretty good. And as we get more details, again, I don't think we're going to need to, it's not going to be significant enough for us to have to do a 45-day revised budget. Although we may in the fall want to look at some of if these numbers do pan out at ways to make the most use of them.
Okay.
Any board members have any specific questions on how this affects our budget? The deferrals, I think they're all looking like they're going to go away, which is a good thing. And then will they reduce our unemployment insurance rate? Is that was
right? That's what I said. Is they're covering most of the cost of that, so that's going to save us about $100,000.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yep. And as I have more time to deal with it, I mean, it's only been signed for like 48 hours, so we're still, scrambling through and trying to figure out how it drifts down into our specific budget.
Okay, thank you. So I haven't asked if there's any public comment on in this item.
There's no public comment.
Yeah.
Thank you. I believe it takes us to the next item on our agenda, which this will complete our open session, and we'll be going to closed session at this time to discuss items 3.3 and 3.4. Item 3.3 concerns a claim filed on behalf of a certificated employee who's asserting permanent status and the right to employment in 2021-22. So we will, at 5:17, go into closed session.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you so much. My apologies for my tardiness. So we are reconvening to open session at 5:43, and there's no action to be reported from closed session this evening. So I believe I get to ask for, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, Trustee Metzen, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Babcock. So moved, closed for the for the meeting of tonight at 5:44.
See you in the spring.
Bye, folks. Thank you, Nate.
In the fall.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good night.